I'm Alex, he's Jim, and this is the Charging Status EV podcast. How you doing, Jim?
I'm all right. We're in London.
Here we are in London.
And I've got a massive lump on my head.
What's happened there?
Right, so I was at a barbecue the other day. They did have a pool. You know, I live in the south.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of things flying around. And something got me on top of the head. I don't know what it was. And it immediately became itchy, but no lump appeared. But then this left eye just streamed for literally the rest of the day. It was about 8 hours. Couldn't really open it or see out of it. So that was less than ideal. The next day it was a bit like horrible and yeah. And then this thing appeared on top of my head, which appears to be perhaps a second head. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah.
And we've just been to quite a posh event, haven't we? We're at the O2 at the moment in London.
Yeah. And
we've just been to the UK launch of Chery Motors. Chery, you may know, have already bought the Moda brand here and the JQ brand here, and they are now bringing Chery here, which itself is actually pretty big in China and quite a lot of the rest of the world as well.
They compared it to Volkswagen, the Volkswagen of China, basically. That people are very dependable on the brand, and they're going after the family market, whereas a Moda and JQ are more youth orientated. I think they mentioned. So yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I've actually just had one of the cars in Spain, but a different spec level apparently, and it's badged as an Ebro in Spain. It's the Tiggo 7, which is going to be the Tiggo 7 here. But in Spain it was an Ebro S7, and it was quite good. It was all petrol, so not entirely suited to this podcast. But the super hybrid system is fairly impressive, and there are some EVs coming. So interesting to see what they do, because the price point and for the car you're getting for it would make me extremely worried if I was Stellantis right now. And I think some other brands as well, like because
the Qashqai, which is a very big selling car in the country. So
yeah. Certainly stuff like interiors, I don't know, they seem to be pushing it.
Yeah, we had a poke around in the 7 and the 8 today, but they also had the 4, which is a smaller SUV, and the 8. And the 9.
The 9.
9 is really impressive, really premium.
I quite like the 4 as well, the smaller one.
Yeah.
But, they've also got 7-year warranty, but obviously the proof in the pudding will be not just how they drive, because I'm sure they all drive pretty well, but obviously how well they actually last and real world reliability and stuff. They did quite a lot to sort of assure us about supply chain and parts availability, and literally like 48-hour availability for parts. And they've done a lot of work on that. And they said that's sort of 20 years in the making, bringing the brand over here, didn't they? So
yeah, like Chery's been around since 97, I think they said. It's taken them 20 years to get it here. So, yeah.
Yeah, since they decided to come here, it's been 20 years, basically, sort of preparing for it. But we'll see. Like I say, the EVs are the thing we'll probably want to talk about more on this podcast, but we haven't seen an EV yet. So only time will tell if the EVs are going to be up to scratch. But so far, the petrol and hybrid stuff looks pretty impressive for the money, I have to say.
Yeah, I think the Tiggo 7 starts at 24 grand, roughly, I think, which is, to see that kind of price point on a new car in 2025 is bonkers. Like, things don't cost that. Things aren't that cheap anymore, so I think
for basically a Tiguan rival. Yeah. It's interesting times. Speaking of cars that are somewhat affordable, you've fallen a little bit in love with one, haven't you?
Yeah. I got the Renault 5 this week, so I picked it up on Thursday, and it's Thursday today, so I'm dropping it back off with Renault tomorrow. I got the Renault 5. It's quite special. And it obviously is quite a small little car. It's like Swift-sized, but it's also really, really efficient as well. It I'm getting 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm done 100 miles today, and the range on it didn't really drop that much. So I think it dropped by 50 miles based on its estimates.
What was that at motorway speed, or so you were in the UK motorway? Were you at 50 for all of it?
Some of it was 70, some of it was 60, some of it was 20.
Yeah.
So it's very, very varied. And obviously slowing down, accelerating uses a lot more power. But
Yeah.
yeah. And that car's got Google Maps integration. So Google Maps on the car knows what the battery's doing. And then you just, whenever I've driven, I've just seen that percentage tick up over time.
Yeah.
The estimate of where you're going to get to. And it will tell you where to charge and stuff. Yeah.
But you said that estimate's pretty decent, but actually changes quite a lot, doesn't it?
I'd say the estimate's conservative.
Right.
It's like it's thinking of the worst possible scenario, and as soon as you drive it,
Which is good. That's the
Yeah.
way you want it to be, more conservative than optimistic,
Yeah.
don't you?
yeah. And if you give it, one of the things I really like is that you can customize on the Google Maps what charger networks you want to use. So I've just told the car, only tell me Tesla Superchargers, and that's what it's been recommending. And it just says it's going to take you, like a Tesla does, like 15 minutes here,
Yeah.
charge this percentage, move off.
You have this when you arrive.
Yep, exactly. And weirdly, it does a return journey. So if you put in the sat nav, I don't know, you're going somewhere, it will say you'll end up with this amount of battery by the time you get back to where you started from, which is pretty good, really. It's just a lovely little car. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and the design's really nice, and it drives quite well as well. So
Nice.
but yeah, good software,
Great.
good car. So yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, I've only driven one at Millbrook, and well, I said to you at the time, and we've spoken about it since, but every part of me loved that car until I drove it, and I was like, meh. But maybe it was just my expectations were too high, or I literally spent 10 minutes driving it around a track, so
Yeah.
it's not a real world.
Yeah,
But
really well.
I was also a little bit disappointed by the space in the back.
That's
But the rest of it, the interior, I thought was really cool.
yep.
All felt nice. And there's nothing wrong with the car. It just, like, it's a car that really excited me when I saw it, and then it didn't when I drove it. But maybe I need to get one for longer and make
Yeah.
a proper assessment rather than 10 minutes.
I think so.
Because you don't get this excitable normally, do you? About
Me?
yeah,
No, not really.
I mean, there's the odd car you do, but
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm probably more excitable of the two of us when it comes
Yeah.
to yeah.
I think I've done 850 miles in it in 1 week.
Wow.
Pretty high. And I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. But the backspace, even for me, is not great. And it's a 5-seater somehow. It's tight. There's a little bit of cheapness around the interior, so the armrest is hilariously undamped. Just lift it up,
Right.
and it goes
Bang.
Yeah. And whenever you open the boot, the parcel shaft just goes like that as well.
Yeah.
So there are some rough edges, and
It is a Renault 5 though. And
Yeah.
let's not forget the old one.
yep,
Like that was a Renault 5.
yeah. And the one that starts at 21 grand, I can't find any available in the UK. And for the review, I was researching what it has, and that one is very basic. I mean, there's no the center console is very stripped back. Doesn't have Google Maps integration on that one. There's like weird things.
Like, why not have that?
I know.
Like, surely it costs more
I know.
to develop 2 of those
Yeah.
or to install. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Surely that's only software or like one little module or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that. And then the center console to me is weird. It's completely changed. Like you can walk through the cabin,
Right.
and they've got rid of some bits and pieces on there. And I was thinking that's probably more expensive to do. But
Do you know what? A PR from a manufacturer told me now that a lot of them are producing a car that they expect no one to buy just to have a low entry point.
yeah,
Where some of them, like the one we've just been looking at today, the entry point actually is fairly well spec'd.
yeah,
But yeah, some of them now are. It's like, why on earth would you buy that one when you can get the 2 level for
Yep. I think
£2,000 more or
I
something?
think there's about £2,000 in between the Evolution trim it's called and the Techno. It's just like there's so many weird little differences. Like it's got a whip area apart from instead of a shark fin. It's black plastic on the back, and there's so many little weird things that you'd think that it just costs more money to make, and stock the parts. But
It might be a psychological thing as well. I bet if they only had 2 trim levels, or say 2 trim levels instead of 3, for example. I'm not talking specifically about that car, but
Yeah,
cars in general. I bet you then either think I'm getting the cheapest one I can possibly get, or I'm getting the most expensive one.
Yep.
And psychologically, a lot of people, it might put them off.
Yeah.
Where if you're having the one in the middle, I'm getting the best of both worlds here.
I think that's what it is. And then I think they sell the most of the Techno. And that's the one with the denim interior and that's some extra features. But overall, I've quite fallen in love with it really. So yeah, good little car.
Nice.
Yeah. I listened to an album the other day, and it's by a guy called Tony Cotton.
Right.
Have a guess what his debut album was called.
Tony Cotton.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be denim based, hasn't it?
100% cotton.
No way.
And I thought that was just
that is
absolutely
awesome.
brilliant.
That is decent.
I was listening to it on CarPlay. I was thinking, that's amazing.
Yeah. If he found like Steve Polyester, Steve Polyester could do some sort of reworking of some of it, and you could call it a cotton poly mix.
Brilliant.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been driving? Well, I've been driving the Renault 5.
I've actually been driving both of my Teslas a fair bit. I've had a couple of cars in for review. I had the MGS5, which we talked about on the last podcast, I think.
Yes.
Briefly.
Yes, with
David from MG.
Yeah.
And the video of that one's out. And I've also had the Toyota Yaris Cross in, and the video of that one's out. But neither of them are EVs.
No.
So yeah, I've actually done a couple of fairly decent journeys in my Tesla Model 3, which I've had for like 6 months now. I might do like a little 6-month update video with that.
Are you halfway through, or is it a 2-year lease you've done?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Model Y we've had for 2 years in about a week's time.
Wow.
And that's developed a fault, which I need to book in. Basically, when you use the brakes in reverse, they squeal like a banshee. So it feels like a brake pad issue, but they don't do it when you're going forward. So I don't know, maybe something's binding on, but I need to get that booked in, really.
Knowing you'll probably blame your wife for it.
Well, it not being funny, the amount of trauma those wheels suffer. The other day, I recently put on the third full set of aftermarket wheel trims.
Yeah.
Which I may have mentioned before. I went outside and said, one of the wheel trims is missing again. And she said, no, it's not. And I said, well, it's not on the wheel. She said, it's in the boot.
Cool.
Yeah. I said, why is it on the boot? And she said, it fell off. And I said, how? And she said, I don't know. So there you go. That's the story of that. If anyone if I try and sell that at some point and someone wants to buy it, I would suggest they get me to pay to have the tracking done and they possibly buy some replacement wheels. Because they've lived a life. But yeah, so that's the first fault that I've had develop on my Tesla. So I'll have to get that booked in and report back. But the Model 3, I drove it here today.
What's that, 150 miles?
I'm not sure what it is, actually.
Oh.
That's a really good point. Bit of dead air there.
There we go.
We're contemplating life. Maybe 120, 130,
Okay.
something like that. But it's just so easy to live with.
Yeah.
I'm potentially making a detour on the way home tomorrow. So I stopped at Fleet Services on the way up for, at worst, 10 minutes, but maybe more like 5. I think I got there and it was at like 82% or something. I thought, I'll just charge it up in case.
Yeah, might as well.
When you're coming up here, it only takes a road to be closed and you have to do some kind of epic diversion. And I had time to kill and stuff anyway. I thought I'll just plug it in. And it must have been charging for, at worst, 10 minutes. It was at 97% when I went back to it.
Yeah.
And I literally walked from the charger, had a wee, and walked back again. I didn't go in a shop, I didn't get coffee, nothing like that.
Yep.
And you just think, and that's when it's already over 80%.
Yeah.
I didn't precondition it or anything because I hadn't even when driving into the services, I hadn't thought I better plug the car in. I just saw them sitting there and half of them were empty, and I thought, I might as well.
Yeah.
And it's still a car where every time I get in it, I enjoy driving it. and that usually wears off with me after about 3 months. Not that I've done loads and loads of miles in it, but lately I've been driving it more regularly because I haven't had so many press cars booked in. And yeah, I do love that car. I think it's brilliant. I did get in a little bit of a debate the other day on Twitter, and there is something that really annoys me. And basically someone asked if they should buy a used Tesla, and a mutual friend said, well, not unless a lot of people will think you're like basically a Nazi sympathiser if you do, and it's a status, a symbol that you're cool with.
Yep.
Musk throwing a Roman salute and all this kind of stuff. And I sort of went back and said, fairly strongly, I guess, I'm just sick of people saying daft things about this, and it's a car.
Yep.
And people that don't have any idea of your heritage, or family members that you perhaps never met because of the actions of the Nazis. I just find it really offensive. But it wouldn't stop me buying another one. And these are people that often are driving German cars.
Yeah.
And there's hardly if you look through the big car manufacturers in the world, you will find direct links with a lot of them to the funding of the Holocaust. People building infrastructure for gas chambers.
Yep.
And versus someone that said a couple of hurty things and is probably potentially, allegedly, altered by perhaps some kind of substances occasionally. I'm not defending what he did. I think the guy's a bit of a knob, but it doesn't make me a Nazi sympathiser for driving my car. And the thing that annoys me most is when people go on about, I'd never be seen dead in one because it's a status symbol, and by using an Elon product you're basically cool with Nazism, when they're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because last time I looked, he owned between 12 and 13% of Tesla and over 70% of Twitter. So
I think people have a real difficult... I think it's the only brand, really, that people have a problem with unlinking the person who is the most public figure of that brand.
Which also makes me think it's not about that at all.
No.
It's about their dislike for the car.
Potentially. Yeah. I don't know what it is, because every time I've driven a Tesla, it's impressed me with how even the base model, which you've got, the Model 3, just handles so well. And I think people forget that the person who's the most public, Elon Musk, isn't actually sat there building the cars. There's actually a lot of jobs at stake. It actually happened with I think Tesla's applied to become an energy supplier in the UK as well, to compete with Octopus Energy and stuff. And there was, I can't remember his exact name, but there was someone who publicly wrote to Ofgem and said, please deny this from happening. And the amount of pushback that got was quite insane, because people just saying, why are you saying that? Because it's going to be quite a helpful competitor in the market, because they do some quite unique stuff with power sharing and stuff. So I don't know what it is. No other brands like that. Maybe Apple was back when Steve Jobs was alive.
Yeah,
but I don't not really with Tim Cook at the helm. But it's
not with Twitter. Yeah, no. He owns a vast amount more of Twitter than he does of Tesla.
Yeah.
He didn't found either company.
No.
So it's not that. I just think it's like probably anti-EV more than it is
potentially
else. I don't know.
No,
but
I don't really know.
If someone says I wouldn't buy one because of what he did, I get that, and I totally understand that, and I respect that. But when people start kind of poking at other people because they have, I just find it bloody annoying. It's the same as when I had an Audi. Everyone would say, "Oh, Audi driver, I bet it hasn't got indicators, has it? 'Cause you wouldn't need them." And blah. And then you get like, if you drive a BMW, you're a wanker or something. Yeah. And it's just so sad. And there are all these people in the UK bleating on about men's mental health, and they're the same people that are poking fun at people for like what they drive or I don't know, just everyone drive what you like and be happy with it.
Yeah.
And if someone else has got something they're happy with, be happy for them.
I mean, yeah, the Tesla Supercharger network for other EVs, it's the cheapest network in the UK. And as someone who drives loads of different EVs and charges them in public, I'm very grateful for the fact that it is the cheapest, because otherwise it'd be so expensive to use them. Because it's like double the price sometimes.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing that and going out their way to make them open to everyone is quite good as well. So, yeah. But yeah,
That still annoys me, but...
I mean, just out here in the hotel, there's some V3 chargers, and I'd had a little look earlier. There was someone mounted the curb to charge. Someone was parked diagonally, and yeah, and it just happens. So,
Any diesels in there?
no,
No, because they're actually in the right at the back of the car park, aren't they? But
they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actually in the worst possible place. For,
there was a nice view here earlier when it was light. You could see the full like spectrum of brown that is the Thames.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like if you got a brown Dulux paint chart, it went from I don't know, pale cappuccino through to well, I don't know where I'm going with this.
it's the full Americano.
Like the darkest chocolate you could possibly get. Yeah,
Oh dear.
yeah, the Thames.
Yeah,
Anyway, we digress.
yeah.
What are you up to next week?
So a week on Monday, we're both going to be at the Munich Motor Show. As I've probably mentioned on the podcast before, I'll be driving there, and I've been
This is exciting, isn't it?
working my butt off to get a car to borrow, because I really wanted to do this trip in an EV, because it just a lot of people seem to believe that you can't drive more than 10 miles in an EV. So it'd be quite interesting to try and drive 700 miles all the way from the UK to Munich. So yes, I'm going to be driving a Volkswagen ID3 all the way from the UK to Munich Motor Show, and then we'll meet up with you when we're there.
Yeah.
It'll be quite a good.
We'll do a podcast there,
We'll do
hopefully.
a podcast live from the motor show. Yeah, be quite good. And there's meant to be a lot of stuff launched at that event. ID2
Yeah.
going to be seen in production for the first time,
Electric Audi TT, possibly.
potentially, which is quite exciting.
I'm very excited about that, because I love a TT.
Yeah. There's a few other bits and pieces going to be there. Xpeng are going to be there. I think maybe a Moda as well. I'm not entirely sure, but be quite a lot of bits and pieces of that event. Probably be a lot bigger than we think it would be. So
Yeah, I think it'll be massive. And it's weird because they have some of it in the convention centre and then some of it's in the city centre, I think.
yeah, I had a look at the floor plans, which is a bit confusing. And there's
Oh, I haven't yet.
it's so random. Just different brands all over the place. Google are there for some reason. They're probably doing actually Android Automotive maybe.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, there's other bits like that. So yeah, it'd be quite a good event.
I don't think it's open to the public, is it?
The first day on the Monday is going to be closed to the public.
First day's press,
Yep.
but I think the other days might be trade. I'm not sure.
Oh really? I don't know.
Because a couple of people have asked me. They've said I've tried to buy a ticket and it doesn't look like
Oh,
you can buy one, but I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, God, it's going to be a massive thing to not
yeah.
have the public in. So
Yeah, especially all the new cars being launched. But yeah, our little trip. So we're going to try and drive to Munich in 2 days. 6 hours each day.
so you're stopping somewhere near Lille, aren't you?
Somewhere in France near Luxembourg, Lille, I think. Yeah. Not really sure where it is.
Lille's quite a long way from Luxembourg.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've tried to plan this trip and work out where everything's going, I've forgotten half of it. But yeah, I think Lille and then Munich, and then we'll have a slower drive back home, because 6 hours in 1 day is quite a bit, really.
Are you staying in Folkestone overnight, or
No.
no?
So getting up at God knows what hour, and then we'll end up in France the same day. So be interesting. Yeah, but in Europe, the Tesla charger network is so much cheaper than it is here.
Oh, was it?
With the membership, it's 22p per kilowatt hour
Jeez.
in most of France and Germany.
Wow. And is it all open to everyone in Europe?
Yep.
Right.
And they've gone back, unlike what they haven't done here, they've gone back throughout their old chargers and upgraded nearly all of them to V4 already,
Right. Okay.
which means everyone can use them
Yeah.
without having to park wonky. So,
So when I did that long European trip in that Ioniq 6,
oh yeah,
we had a deal with a company that basically do RFID fobs for big companies, for fleets. So instead of giving all their people with electric cars and vans like 50 different cards, they just give them this little RFID thing, and that works. And they were just rolling it out in Europe, and all we could use it on was Ionity.
Okay.
So I didn't even look at the price because, you know, they were picking it up essentially. But we had absolutely no problem finding Ionity chargers anywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the way we did it in one charge kind of thing, but on the way back we came a bit of a longer way, and we used a few. And I did it as I would normally, which is every time you stop, you just plug the car in.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Because I don't personally ever want to stop to charge. I'd rather just charge when I stop.
Yep.
And that's how I always do it.
Yeah.
So we did it like that, and it was no problem at all. They were everywhere, and like always half of them were empty.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a breeze. The one thing that's really annoying though, when I did that trip, is when you go to a service station, you've got to pay €1 to have a wee.
Oh really?
And I feel like if I'm paying €1, I want to do more than a wee. You know, to get my money's worth. Yeah.
I bet didn't smell though. I bet they were clean.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah. But yeah, you shouldn't have to pay to have a wee though, should you?
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look at, there's a very cool website, Supercharge Info. I think it's supercharge.info, and it tells you about all the sites that are currently open with Tesla and all the ones they've got planning. And you look at the UK, and it's so like sparse. So all the main roads don't have many of them. As soon as you look into France and Germany, every major road has just dots. There's loads of them. I'll put a link in the show notes to their website. It's really good. It just tells you about when they're opening sites and different things. But they just seem to have more investment in Europe into public charging for some reason. I don't know why, but seems pretty good. But yeah, should be a good trip. So that's a week today, I think.
They're also in France rolling out those solar panels over car parks, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think that is on the cards for this country. I think it's being planned.
Why wouldn't you do that? We're spending loads of money on solar farms and stuff, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and you're out the rain.
Yeah,
out the sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be. So I'll have some videos coming to the channel about the Munich Motor Show. You will as well.
Yeah.
Probably a road trip video of some kind, and yeah, should be pretty interesting.
I'll have my normal sort of run and gun
guerrilla style.
Yeah, and then I'm going to try and do quite a lot of shorts as well, because I'm really terrible at doing short form content.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and make a lot of those. I have got someone that's going to be cutting up some of the video for me, but I'm going to try and film some that way as well. So I'm rubbish at that and Instagram and stuff, and I don't know, it doesn't always help. Like, I'm sure there are times when you get turned down for things because they look at YouTube, you know, I say I want to borrow one of these cars or something, and they look at YouTube and think, well, that's all right. But then they look at Instagram and you've got no one there.
Yep.
And I think a lot of companies now are looking at all the platforms, and yeah, I'm just not very good at any of them.
I'm not very good at them either. The
one I do most is probably Twitter, and all I ever put on there really is I post when I've released a video. I don't know, I'm rubbish. I'm too old. I've got an interesting week next week.
Oh yeah?
So, this is going out before Monday, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
On Monday, there's a big announcement video coming on my channel, and it's going to change the way I do my leasing videos. And it's been a long time coming, and it's like really important one for me. And yeah, I'm quite excited about it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say. I'm trying to say as much as I can without saying anything, but I can't say anything until Monday. But as soon as I can, it shall be there. So go and check out my channel on Monday, and there'll be a video there with probably what appears to be a clickbaity title or something, if I can think of one. But it won't be clickbait. It'll actually be worth watching, and there are some really good reasons why it's worth watching.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then I've got something else next week. Oh, are we driving these cars next week? Aren't we?
Oh yeah. So we've seen the Chery Tiggo 7 and 8 today, and but this time next week I think we're driving both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I don't want to get anyone too excited, but I'm staying at Premier Inn in Worcester on Thursday night, and it's almost on the M5.
Yep.
In fact, I could probably see the M5 from it.
I think I know the one you mean. That one's not very good, but anyway.
No, I've stayed there several times before. Yeah,
fair enough.
But it was 67 quid, and the
Yeah.
other one was 120.
Yeah, the one in the town's a bit nicer actually.
The one at the cricket stadium.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Yeah, I've stayed there before. It's 120 quid, and that one's 67. And I'm going. Thing is, right? Like again, we talked about it in that other podcast, but I'm going to review a car, but the video will probably make 30 quid or something.
Yep.
And it's going to cost me whatever the electric in my car costs, and 67 quid for the hotel, and obviously I'll have to feed my fat self somewhere. So it is a very different experience for us, and they have put us up here tonight, but they've put us up here because they're launching the brand, and they hope we'll probably write an article about it or something. But yeah, I mean, we've already done an episode on this, so go and listen to that or watch that. But the world of doing this for us is very different to how it might be for even some of the big YouTube channels, but also like the magazines and all that kind of stuff. And the only reason I do them is because I hope when I'm talking about my lease deals things, I've got more to talk about, and I can offer something more than it's cheap or it's expensive.
Yeah.
And just the whole I'm interested by new cars, I suppose, which same for you.
Yeah.
Just love driving loads of different cars. But I bet in the comments to that video, someone will say, how much do you get paid for this?
I've had that a few
I'd
times.
be like, yeah, minus 40 quid, minus 50 quid.
Yeah, we mentioned that a few times. We mentioned it on the podcast we did with Tish. But just it's not what it seems, is it? So,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I'd take money to do a review anyway, but yeah. When you think, actually, when you think about it, I've paid to come and review this car.
Yeah.
In a weird roundabout way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress again. As I do. Well.
Yeah.
That's about that, isn't it?
I think so. That's that for this.
Bedtime.
Yeah.
You sleeping on the left or the right?
I thought we spoon in the middle.
Just to clear this up, Alex has got his own room with his lovely girlfriend. I'm here on my own. Don't cry. I'm happily married. My wife's just looking after our kids. But we're not going to sleep on here.
Anyway,
I hope we could get those stains out as well before the morning.
God.
What? I didn't know you were a bedwetter.
Oh God. I think that's a good place to end. Where can people find your content online?
Definitely Not a Guru on YouTube. Notaguru.co.uk is the website. And I'm on Instagram, which you need to follow me on, at NotAGuruGym. On Twitter, at NotAGuru3.
Okay.
And although I use Twitter, doesn't mean I'm a Nazi.
No, of course not.
And I drive a Tesla.
Yeah. You can find me on theinterface.uk for the car news and different bits and pieces there. And on YouTube, The Interface Cars, for my weekly car reviews. Until next time, we'll see you again next week, hopefully from Munich.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.